companies that are providing real-time accent removal for telemarketers. So you can run a telemarketing shop out of Bangalore in India, and then you can choose that you want to sound like Sarah from the Midwest or Brian from Los Angeles, and it's translating and taking the accent out in real time. Brian? Is that the avatar? Brian. And so if you are like running a help center for Telstra, would you not pay for that? Like, there's no question in my mind they would pay for that.
It's one of the biggest complaints that people have is the Indian accent, and it's very hard to understand for people. So it's valuable.
Yeah.
Extremely valuable.
And it's not good for them either, because they're copying abuse and people hanging up. And the efficiencies that are brought as a result of it are just massive.
Not only we can make, we're talking about appointment setters before, and I've got the data that build an AI appointment setter to run through a series of questions. We've got the data that we just mentioned that who likes recruitment here? We're all business owners. Who loves it? Who loves recruiting?
It's the worst job in the world.
Great. And then when you do have them, who likes training them?
Yeah.
No one. No. And we're going through this now. So it's like, and they got sick day, on it goes. But, to the point where you could build an AI, and instead of, the call rate might be 100 outbounds a day, 10,000 outbounds a minute. Like, it's uncapped.
You need phone calls going out.
You formerly would have an appointment setter going through a database, calling the leads, and going for coffee.
Tesla's doing it now. We'll load that up in a second. We'll give you the example. Have you got that one, Greg?
And just while you're bringing that up as well, think about this from a content creation perspective. If you create content for YouTube videos or courses, you can clone your own voice and essentially just have your team or even ChatGPT create the course, and then it'll sound like you're presenting it. You essentially clone yourself. It's mind-boggling.
What are your thoughts just in regards to AI, right? And we were talking about copywriting before as an example. So if you're one of those high-end copywriters, what are your thoughts around job displacement?
Yeah, so if you're a high-end copywriter, you'll be okay. But there is going to be downward pressure. There's massive, no doubt about it. So if you're like an ultra high-end, like a Frank Kern or one of those guys, you're okay. That's fine. But if you're in the middle, you're in trouble, because even myself with my business, I used to pay copywriters $100 plus per hour to get copy done. Now I have lower level, maybe $10 to $15 an hour people who understand how to recognize good copy and use AI, and they're pumping out content that is just as good as those guys. So there's that saying, I think was it Mark Andreessen who said that software is eating the world? I would say AI is going to devour it, and people don't even know what's coming yet. So, that's why I just encourage people, just start playing around with what's going on, so you actually see what's happening and some of the applications of it as well. But yeah, downward pressure for copywriters, teachers, designers, video editors, everything is going to be downward pressure on pricing.
So to learn a little bit more about AI, for instance, for the speakers for the listeners that don't know too much about AI, where would you go? What would you look at to learn a little bit more about AI?
Very good question. So I would even just start off with ChatGPT, just in and of itself. Just sign up for the free version and just start playing around with it and start asking it questions. There are great tools. I think, James, you mentioned one, which was, I think there's an AI for that, which is there's different, like a repository of thousands and thousands of different AI tools. But frankly, if you just start with something like ChatGPT or even Bard, and you go there and you ask it questions, it'll guide you through everything you need to know. It'll recommend different tools,
honestly, guys,
different
this
applications.
Is 2024. If you're at home right now and you don't know something, there's a thing called the internet and YouTube that's fucking mind-blowing, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't be lazy. Like, young people today, if you've got, you are billionaires with minutes. Eric is not. I'm even less so. We're poorer time-wise. You guys, your asset is time. If you are dumb today, it is ignorance and laziness.
Google's just, I think it's Google, just Google it, AI Harvard, I think they even call it a Harvard level AI, introduction to AI. It's free.
Yes.
And it tells you all about how Bard works or how...
If you become obsessed, if I was a young person listening to this, you could become obsessed with this. Mm-hmm. And I think this is an incredible opportunity.
To your point, we may have an understanding of it, I still don't like to be the person doing it. I would rather hire someone who's competent to go and do the work. I'm not interested in
I think you're going to see more and more ads on Seek and on Upwork for AI expert, AI consultant, and you can not name your price, but in business, it's supply and demand. If there's massive demand and very few people with their shingle out saying I'm an AI expert, which is, Chris, why I think you're going to do great here,
Thank you.
You can do really, really well.
I would say, like, if you're a business and you're looking at this, you have two choices. You can either lay off staff to essentially produce the same output for less cost, or you can maintain the staff you've got, upskill them with the AI, and you can 10x your productivity and your improvements.
This is where it's going. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Unemployable. If you want to watch another clip, click here, or if you want to see the full episode, click here. Bye for now.